Hey y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning into Expats Living. I'm so excited about this interview today. It's my first mompreneur that's living abroad with her family. So I'm so excited about this, you guys. And I don't like to take a lot of time, so I'm gonna go ahead and have Desi introduce herself.
Hello, thanks for having me, Sherry. It's so nice to see you, and it's been great to get to know you. So my name is Desi Speaks. I'm a mompreneur, originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and right now we're living as a family of 5 in Playa del Carmen, enjoying the freedom and the peace of mind that that brings.
Wow, that's amazing. A family of 5. So I'm guessing 3 kiddos and 2 adults.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All ages. I have one at 15 years old, my first son, and my youngest is almost 2.
Okay, so this is just a lot of questions right there, and I'm gonna try not to get off topic because that's just so much. So how is it being a mompreneur?
I would definitely say that it's been a struggle finding that work-life balance, but I've been doing this since early 2015 and before that, but just outside of being employed for anyone else, 2015 until now. And it has really been about finding work-life balance, but I've been grateful to see all the steps that my children go through and spend time with them every single day. And I think it's the most rewarding job possible.
I love that. I love that. So why did you and your family choose the expat life?
Well, one, I feel like in order for them to have the best experiences in life, I need to be able to save money and to shift from saving all of our money or spending all of our money just to stay put, shift that into experiences. And in order to do that, you have to reduce your cost of living. And also, I think it's very important to live somewhere where you feel safe, because when you feel safe, you thrive creatively, and even just health-wise, mentally and spiritually. And so that was, and excuse me, be here, I have kids, so
I love it. I love it. It's a real authentic. I'm living abroad and I got a whole kiddo in there right now.
And we're in Mexico, so every now and then you get those dogs in the background. I'm in the hood. So
yeah.
we like to travel authentically too. Like, so a lot of times we don't get to do like the tourist stuff, or we choose not to. And we like to live like we call like living like locals. And so we get to really like on a cultural and anthropological level, get to understand communities from the inside out. And that's also been rewarding. And I feel like they've been learning full immersion, culture studies that way. And that's really fun for us as homeschoolers.
I love that. Okay. So I have no idea what overlanding is. So tell me about overlanding.
Okay, so overlanding is basically just traveling by land. And so like families that do that, sometimes they travel in caravans and things like that, but we're looking to actually get an RV soon or convert some kind of van or a bus. But we love to overland because you don't always have, it's stable hotels, but you also have the option of staying in a hotel and parking, or staying in your vehicle when you're in between. You find more flexible options when you go through borders. We've moved to Belize, we've driven through Mexico multiple times, and we would bring we moved everything. We moved everything we had, our business equipment, clothing, musical instruments, all kind of things. And that's only possible when you do overland travel, unless you have a lot of money for cargo shipping. And we're not retirees, we're just now building ourselves. And so we found it most convenient to do overland travel.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was something that I didn't even know that was out there.
So it's really fun too. I really, really love it. We came here on planes this time because of the whole COVID stuff, but typically we much prefer overland.
Okay, I love that. So tell me about building community abroad.
Okay. So I think it's really important that when you're in any community, you know what you bring to the table. And when you connect with other people, hopefully that they also know what they have to bring to the table. And so you basically identify people that have strengths that might suit your incompetencies, or, someone you can learn from, people that can build in a mutually beneficial way. So I look at like business, it's business, relationship, entrepreneurship, but also making sure that you're cultivating relationships that aren't just for this year or this month or this sale, like people that you can see yourself working with over the next 30, 40, 50 years, that your children could also trust and that you can work with. And so I think relationship, entrepreneurship, building community, not like in a sense of a cult or, a bunch of people wearing the same color or a certain diet, but people that we're building empires together. Like we're literally building a community of people, whether it's regionally or whether it's globally, but, like-minded, goal-driven, we have common interests. We're all willing to work, and we're also willing to work toward our strengths and work with other people that have different strengths, and to really build like a like-minded community of individuals.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's something that I only experienced like in the church in the States. I don't believe that I experienced that outside of the church. So to experience building community within, the community that I'm living here has been so rich to me, and to be part of the global expat community as well. Like,
Yeah.
it's just a beautiful experience. And even though like this is something that people have been doing for a while, for somewhere in my mind, it seems as it's becoming more popular as of 2020.
Yep. I think especially with our generation, because we saw our parents kind of like give up community a lot of times for, corporations or for titles and different things. And it's good, like things kind of fell apart for everybody last year. And so we're kind of getting back to basics, like bartering or, just learning skills that are not just what the system said. You're good. You got a degree, check this off. You can regurgitate information. Well, no, but what can you do? If you can't do anything, like if you don't have any tangible abilities or skills, or you can't think critically independently, it's important to collaborate with people that can do that and literally build the world together, build the world that you want to see. And like we have that opportunity. And that's why when I see you, like you are so rich for that. You know what I mean? Like it's like almost like your character like is a leader. Like I see you and I'm like, this young lady is literally like, you are a community builder. Like you're everything that you say, everything that you do. We went out the other day, you were making my daughter her plate of hot dog. I'm looking at her like, that is so sweet, because people don't just do that for me. You're making my daughter her hot dog. You know what I mean? And it might seem like really small, but like I said, you're a powerhouse, and it's very powerful relationship entrepreneurship, because she won't forget it. I'm not going to forget it. You might forget it, but those things.
I'm not going to forget it now.
Ripple effects. They have ripple effects, and even like you and the babies on the elevator, like, those things, they're very, very, very powerful. Like, they may not seem like it right now, but, you'll be laughing and joking about that with the same people you're talking to right now, 10, 15 years. How powerful is that?
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that with me. I love that. Yeah. Thank you for sharing those kind of words too. Yeah, I adore community. I love people. I'm an extreme extrovert, but I also love my me time. So, but I love people, and especially kids. So that was a rich event that one of our friends out here threw, Kiera, for the kiddos that are out here in Playa del Carmen. So that was very enjoyable. Yeah. So, talk to me about this generational wealth that you're building.
Okay, so generational wealth to me is so important. I feel like I've had organizations before, like, we focused on, Black Wall Streets and protests and, social justice and all kind of things. But I feel like without financial independence, it's all just rhetoric. It's all just talking. I feel like without generational wealth, without the ability to be free enough to get what you want on your terms, you have no power on this planet. And I think it's important for us to really think that way and to instill that same mindset in our children, because we're like, out of every community on the planet, we're the ones that's the most behind on that. And not by any fault of our own, but we also can't expect anybody else to want to fix that for us. And we see our community is evolving, and we're getting heavy in the stocks, heavy in the crypto, forex, all kind of things. And it's really powerful because that came out of the struggle. And, you could only see that kind of going in a positive direction within the next 20, 30 years, as long as we don't get corrupted by capitalism too much and end up the same way, other people did, and that destroyed the planet. We have to maintain like an idea of sustainability. That's why generational wealth is not like I'm trying to be a capitalist and get all the money in my lifetime and hand my children a terrible world, a deferred taxation where they have to pay the cost for my benefits. You want to think about like, what can I do today that's going to benefit my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids? Like, I want my actions to make waves for the next 7 generations. And so that's why I say, not just wealth, like I could be a billionaire and have my kids inherit a world that's being destroyed, but that's not sustainable. It's very selfish. It's very selfish. It's not morally decent. And that's kind of what the people that controlled the world before us have done. And I think it's really important for us to kind of switch that, you know, and that also goes into the longevity piece, because it's not just about money wealth, it's about health wealth.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's good. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. That's definitely a lot of nuggets to make sure that we're thinking on, we're preparing for, and we're strategizing to ensure that we are creating generational wealth.
Yes,
Yeah, so
ma'am.
thank you for sharing that. So I think the health and longevity, did you touch on, or is that separate? Because this is health and longevity.
I want to say health and longevity isn't like the wealth piece kind of transitions into that, because what's the point of having money if you can't actually enjoy it in abundance? You know, what's the point of having money if you're also passing down mindsets that lead to disease? You know, and also it's the truth that like the longer you live, the longer you can save, the more impact of the you can have on the world. Like the longer, the bigger, the larger your legacy. So if you're doing things on a regular basis that improve your health and that are going to improve your longevity, like we don't want to be like our aunties and uncles that are dying in their 50s and 60s. Like we got peers right now with cancer. You know what I'm saying? We got peers right now that are dying from diseases that we didn't see in our grandparents yet. You know, so like literally each generation is dying sooner in this same kind of, you know, standard American system that we see spreading across the planet like wildfire. And so we have to like come back like our ancestors, like they may not have had everything, but they had their health, like they were doing whole things to contribute to like a holistic being that can live longer. Because if we live longer, we can instill more in our children. We can enjoy abundance longer. We can do things that help benefit the planet longer. You know, we shouldn't be trying to build something and then have it be sabotaged by disease and poor decisions. You know, so it like just takes, okay, a level of self-discipline, it all kind of feeds into each other. Yeah. Self-discipline, health, business, wealth, love, community, building, creating, content, inspiration, hope, uplifting. And it's all kind of goes back into this general movement that I once thought was YBH, you know, protesting, but it's really like literally Gandhi said, be the change. He might be racist, but he has some gems. Be the change you want to see. How else can you be the change unless you do the work? Like literally be the change. Don't talk about it, show it, lead by example. And so the whole platform is kind of like trying to like be an example, you know, and then raise your children so that they can also be examples. And, you know, just, you know, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, thank you so much for sharing all this. I know you have to get back to your kiddos. I thank you so much for taking the time and sharing this. It was extremely inspirational it's just so many categories that you just fit into, just being a woman, being a Black woman, being a mom, being a mother of 3 kids, being a wife, you know, like it was a lot. You know, so for me, I'm a single Black woman. So there's only so many people that will hear from me and I can inspire. But for you to be living the same life I'm living,
I'm also a felon. I'm also a felon. So if you got any felon watchers, let them know it is not impossible. You can get out too.
Because baby, the states be trying to hold back felons. Yeah. They really do. They really do.
You can still dream if you're a felon. That's really important for me. For people that have been in incarceration or any kind of system of bondage, you can still be free.
I love it. And thank you for putting that out there too. That needed to be out there because you're definitely the first person that admitted they was a felon that I've interviewed, because, you know, probably had some.
It's real. I don't mind.
Yeah, no, thank you. So do you have any words of wisdom?
I would just
want you already said, because you gave us a lot, but any words of wisdom that you would like to leave?
No, one thing I always try to leave people that are thinking about leaving the country with is just humility. Humility, like learning to recognize our own privilege when we go places and be respectful of the people who are there first. We can't go places and behave like our colonizers or become colonizers. Like, we have to humble ourselves. We have to respect the culture of the places that we're going. We don't want to be like those other people. You know what I'm saying? We're showing ourselves to the world, and we're traveling, and we're intelligent, and we're educated, and we want to be respectful. That's our legacy, is being respectful and contributing. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, that was so
Thank you,
good.
Sherry.
Can you tell the people how to follow you? I'm also going to put it in the description on the YouTube page, but just go ahead and mention it.
Okay, our family website is revolutionarytravelfamily.com. My website, www.desiespeaks.life. Instagram is desiespeaks.life. And IG for the other one is Revolutionary Travel Family. You know, my link tree is on my IG. We got YouTube. You just search those things, Desi, YBH, Revolutionary, blah, blah, blah. You'll find it if you want to.
Okay, cool. Thank you again. Thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And you guys,
Thank you. Much love.
Yes. Make sure that you guys like, share, comment on this. Be sure to follow Desi on all of her channels in the description that you'll find it here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Until next time, we have our next interviewer. There you go.